My videos have gotten over 30 billion views, but there's a secret about going viral that nobody knows about. And it's not about making videos with kittens or posting thirst traps. It's something that will blow your mind. The secret is I've been following a routine and a creative process for years, and in this video, I'm gonna break it down for you. Step one, obviously, is ideation. I used to be a person that kind of waited for inspiration. I would skateboard or just hang around the studio playing Nerf fights. Not Aaron! Look out, look out, look out! But then I read this book by Steven Pressfield called The War of Art, and he talks about just sitting down and doing the work. Even if you're afraid, if you have self-doubt, you just literally have to sit down for a couple hours a day and start writing on the page. Now, I have a whole team and we actually write and have a brainstorm session every Monday morning. So this is a tee sheet. I think it was coined by Duncan Wardle, actually, one of the Disney team members. And he talks about having the T shape here where you have the title, and then on the left side, you can see we have some text that explains our concept. And then on the right, we have photos that kind of back up or give you a little inspiration of what it could be. You also notice we have these little light bulbs. After our creative pitch on Monday, everyone on the team gets one green vote and one yellow vote. A green is like your top favorite concept, and yellow is like your second top favorite. This is so great because at the end of the meetings, we actually walk away with a simple pulse from people who say, this one idea is resonating over here. Not that we always make those, but it gives us a little idea of creatively what was interesting. So on Monday, after we go through our creative tee sheet meeting, we go directly into the mockups. And this stage is kind of crazy because we ask an impossible question. Like, how could we see these videos in 1 hour? I know what you're thinking, like, how is that possible? What we're looking for is like making a video on a phone. We just want to shoot a blocking. We want to see what it could feel like, what it could look like. I'll give you a rough example. We were talking about that cold plunge video.
10 seconds left.
No, I'm done. I can't.
So what you're seeing here in the mockups is our producer, Ashley. We're just getting a vibe of where the cuts might be. We're exploring some technicals of what the trick breakdown could be and how we're gonna do the visual effects. Often we'll do multiple mockups, like this next clip here. You can see I'm actually getting into the same cold plunge. We had bought it already as our prop. We get in, we're kind of testing how we might frame it there, and then how we're getting to the water plate, which is what we were exploring there and why I'm in the pool. The point of it is these mockups are messy, they're not pretty, but it just helps us get off the couch and start making them and start visualizing what they're gonna look like. Fun fact, we actually shot that in Alaska in a real glacier. There's a whole other video about that.
I don't know if I can do this.
Be on road.
No, I've literally never been colder in my life.
Another example is we have these things that we call 3D mockups, and this is when we don't actually film it. Maybe it's a little too complex for that, so we sit down with one of our animators and he'll help us make this vision and bring it to life in 3D. Take, for example, this tiny world. This is such a fun video. We're gonna build the set for real, so we need to figure out what's the phone measurements, what's the lamp gonna look like, how are we gonna get my bed right there. I'll show you how crazy this is because they're almost identical, and that's because we just executed so well in production. Here's just another example. We want to do a concept where I'm like in LA traffic and then it turns out that I'm boating in Switzerland. And literally just like that 3D mockup, here's the final video. Look at this.
This is nice. Oh, guys, come on.
What was crazy is those ducks were really, or swans, geese? I don't know. Comment below what they are, but they were swimming around, and so we just turned our cameras and filmed them, and then we're able to add those right there. At one point, we're gonna animate those, but shooting it for real is always the move. That takes us to our next stage, production. One of the biggest problems I see filmmakers make in production is they think money is gonna solve the problem that they sometimes should solve with just a little bit more creativity or looking at the problem a little differently. So I wanna show you two examples. I'm gonna show you a $100,000 project and a $100 project, and we'll just kind of compare. In this concept, it needs to appear like my room is flooding, that it's filling up with water. And one of the approaches that we looked at was actually so ridiculous. It was gonna cost us like $600,000 because we needed these giant pumps and pools nearby, and to flood the room really fast takes so much water. There's gotta be another way. So what we did is attach the camera to a set and we sunk it. Because from the camera's perspective, even though the set is sinking, it looks like it's filling up. There's always fun, creative solutions to filmmaking. Here's an example, on the other hand, that's just a $100 video. What's crazy too is this is one of my most popular videos. I think it has like 2 billion views on TikTok, and it was made for $100. And all we bought were the black Harry Potter robe and the mirror. We already had the skateboard and the broomstick. I hope if there's young filmmakers watching that you take this point and realize that You can make something great with no money. It just comes down to the creativity and the story that you're telling. So continue to make stuff.
It's actually not bad.
Another way to approach this is embracing the limitations. In this video, we originally wanted to shoot this on a private airport, inside of a jet. And then as we were budgeting that out, it's just like, that's gonna be so ridiculous. We just step back and look at like, okay, what does the video need to look like? It's from inside an airplane, so it has that little window, and it needs to look like we're on a tarmac, so it's just like concrete. And so we ended up shooting it really scrappy. We shot with a cardboard cutout on a poster board, and we had a old carpet on sawhorses to be the conveyor belt. So there's a lot of creative ways that you can make these videos. One of our production mantras at the studio is to do it practically when possible. I think the audience can tell. They can see if it's real and just feel the energy of it if it's real. Here's an example. This RC helicopter video actually is coming at me and I duck down, and that's real. Also, I will never do that again. That was crazy dangerous.
I feel like I almost thought I was getting chopped.
So do not try that at home. But other videos like this one, which wasn't dangerous, it was just cool. We wanted to make it look like a monster truck was flying over me. We ended up going where they had monster trucks and jumped it off a ramp, and it looked awesome. That takes us into visual effects. Once we've captured it in camera, obviously my videos still have so much more work to do inside the computer where we're gonna be editing them and bringing them to life. And also, I need to shout out my entire VFX team. They are all around the world. There's some here at the studio. I don't have time to do all the editing myself anymore, which is sad, but also cool because it allows so many different skills to come into these videos. Thanks to the whole VFX team for making these come to life. All right, now take this video for example. This is Trash Monster. This is such a fun video, which we did for the most part really practical. And then I get sucked up by this giant trash tongue and pulled into the dumpster there. So obviously that tongue is animation, but we shot this for real so you could feel the physical pull upward. And then I have interactions with the ground, and there's a lot of shadow work there that would be hard to recreate. And I'm showing you a bunch of behind the scenes clips here. You can kind of piece together how we made this, but we're trying to always do it practical when possible, like dumping out the trash on the floor, even grabbing me with some of the clothes so we can have that cloth interaction. Here's another video example of the VFX and what the progress might look like. We are tracking on those little pieces right there for reference. I hop down into this blue screen hole, and then we put on the last puzzle piece there, and I just practically freeze in position. As we go through these different versions, you can see here now we're tracking in a grid just to see what kind of anamorphic morphing and illusions so that we can design the art that's gonna be there. And then we put in the placeholder art. This is just temporary to see if we like the design. And again, we haven't changed the puzzle pieces yet. As we're getting closer to final, we're comping in the rest of the CG puzzle pieces, and it starts to come together towards the end. After we've done the VFX, we go into sound design. What you won't realize for these short videos is that they're completely redone in post. There's basically nothing usable from our sets because there's talking, there's loud cues, there's wind machines, whatever. I'm gonna play this example. It's also insane to me that this short video, which is like 20 seconds long, has 30 different audio layers to it. Here's another example. This is a fun little Mario parody we made for Halloween. Listen to this. This is how it sounds right out of the camera.
Hey, I got the candy. Hey, I come back.
But then when we go in the studio, we'll do a sound effect pass like this. And I might even have a mic watching the video, and I'd go, "Hey, it's me, Mario. I take some candy. Oh, he's taking the candy. Oh, get him," whatever I was saying.
Hey, you.
Oh, I love that sound effects hit when the coins all spill everywhere. That's so cool. But when I watched that with the team in our review session, we were like, oh, it's still lacking the energy. And when that happens, we go to music.
Hey, you.
Let me know down in the comments if you're a filmmaker or a creator, what part of the process is the most difficult for you? I hope you got a lot out of this video. And if you want to see more behind the scenes, click right here.